Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Coach Lori Anne, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist, empowering, educating, inspiring, and igniting people to take action with jet propulsion, assisting people to find and embrace their life purpose, live their highest vision, become the best version of you, and forge a strong foundation to soar to success. For more information on how to work with me and my team, visit us at ldcstrategies.com or coachlorianne.com. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to what? Of course, empower minds, educate hearts, inspire action, and ignite success so you can choose to have a fulfilled, healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a great day. You can tell from my energies, I've had a little caffeine. But today on Healthy Lifestyle, we're going to give you some verbal caffeine to light you up with possibilities. And today on our show, we have Sharyn and Hank Yuloff. They are from Yuloff Creative Marketing Solutions. They are unbelievable. We met at a networking group that we're both part of, which is called Tip. You've heard me talk about that before. And welcome to the show, Hank. Sharyn, great to have you here.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
I'm pumped up. I feel like I almost had some of your caffeine just through the microphone.
It's infusing. I know.
Completely.
It's a good thing. So I'm so excited because you and I, we all do very similar things. And I just love what you both do. And I would love to talk to you about some of the challenging things that you find businesses to have regarding their marketing.
You want to go first?
No.
Okay. Okay. So
husband and wife team. I love that.
Here's what happens all the time. Well, actually, you're lucky we didn't just do rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock to figure out.
I'm okay with that too.
Exactly. Here's what we see a lot. When we start with a new coaching client, or sometimes a coaching client will come to us and they'll say, I was told about this bright, shiny object. Somebody's trying to get me to do some marketing or do ads or something. And what do you think of this bright, shiny object? And they'll hand it to us. And it's like, well, that's great. But the question always comes from us, what do you want it to do? Most people will look at this bright, shiny object and like, oh my gosh, the investment's only this much. But they're not thinking with the end in mind. What do you want this to do for you?
What's the goal?
Exactly. For example, with an ad. Let's just talk about ads because everybody's hit up for ads. Quite often the person that's selling ads has been taught by whoever hired the person who's selling the ads that it's the greatest thing ever and this is the only thing they need. And
everyone needs to do this ad.
Exactly. And I know this because I was one of those people when I got out of college. I worked for a direct mail company. I worked for a couple of different companies that was.
Everyone needs it.
And it was great for a specific niche.
Yeah.
And I knew to just sell to the niche and I was really successful. But if that ad isn't going to generate, our number is 4 to 1. For every dollar you invest, it should bring back 4. Because if you're selling a product, well, there's the cost of the product that you're going to have to deliver that's invested in there. I mean, so there's profit, and everybody look at the mirror and say your name, deserve to make money. Your name, gotta get paid. You have to get paid.
Absolutely.
And
even if it's a service, you still deserve to get paid. You still is your time.
Without a doubt. And you need a return on investment. You'll hear the term ROI, return on investment. You have to look for, do I have a return on investment? Otherwise, don't do it. And every marketing tool is not meant for every industry, business, or service that you have.
You're dead on right.
That's why we need professionals like you to say, yeah, that's nice, but the intention is to do X, so you probably want to use Y, not Z. And just because your best friend uses it doesn't mean it's perfect for you. That's why you go to people like you, the experts, right?
Oh, we used to have, we still own a promo company. It's based in LA. And I've had people say, hey, I'd really like to do some of these with my logo on it, whatever this is. I said, well, why? Well, my friend who's in a completely different industry is using them and I love them. It's like, well, but your client, that product isn't useful and needed to your clients. They're not going to care. So,
or they're running an ad in a particular publication. Well, is your ideal client, customer, referral partner reading that publication? Because if they're not, then you don't need to invest in that publication.
Right. And publications and TV and radio, although I love my radio show, don't get me wrong, because we're on one right now. It's a spray and pray. You hope that you're reaching the right people and they're listening. And I know the people that are listening to this show, they're the people who market on our show are very specific to this coaching environment, business entrepreneurial environment. So the next question I have, which is the most obvious question, is what's the first step every business should take in putting together their marketing plan and their marketing path? What's that very first step? Because I feel like people just dive off a cliff and start reaching and grabbing all these different marketing methodologies, but they're not getting any success in any of them. And then they're like, this doesn't work and you guys are wrong, right?
Watch this, Lori. Sharyn.
The first step is to know who it is that you're messaging. Who's your ideal client, customer, referral partner? And it's not the same, right? Maybe your favorite customer is multifold, right? One of my favorites is a teen, and then another favorite is a 30-year-old, and but my referral partners are 50. That's fine. You can have all those different segments, but you have to craft a different message to each of them. If you try to craft one message that's going to reach all of them, none of them are going to feel like you're talking to them, and they're not going to buy from you.
Yes, absolutely. Because you do use different languaging and they want to hear different things and you do have to talk to them. What about when somebody says and you ask them, who are you speaking to? And they go, everybody. I always love that answer. I'm like, okay,
everybody that has skin.
It's like, when you said that right here, I felt it right here.
Right? It's painful.
You got me right in whatever chakra that is, man. Oh my gosh. We hear it all the time.
Yeah.
When we start with a new client, let's go even further back than you.
Okay.
The first question we ask is, okay, what do you want your life to look like? If you're going to put your marketing plan together, you started this business, what do you want your life to look like? And you ask this question because so often, and I'm going to bet you get this a lot, they started this business and now the business has taken over their life, as opposed to they're serving their business and the business isn't serving their life.
Yes. And
we have a lot of clients that come to us, they are overwhelmed, overthinking, and so that's the first question. All right, folks, what do you want your life to look like?
We had a potential, an actual client. It was the first meeting with that actual client after she became a client. And she thought that her business was going to, so I'm just giving you an example of what Hank was saying. She thought her business was going to be, she wanted to be a yoga teacher. But then when she described what she wanted life to look like, it's like, well, being a yoga instructor is not going to get you there, right? That's in order to get there, you need X dollars to get to that goal. So how many hours of teaching are you going to have to do to reach that? And is that the life you want? Do you want to spend that much of your life teaching yoga in order to get that goal? No, that's not it. So maybe what I need to do is then have a yoga studio and other people teach, but that I have the overarching business. Okay, well, those are different figures, right? So now let's play with those figures. Does that, in order to get to your goal, right? You need to bring in this much, you'll need to have this many right? So those are the kinds of things that we talk about in that very first meeting.
Yeah. And I get that a lot. Most of the time people come in with one idea and they think this is what I want to do. And I'm like, okay, but I already hear them languaging that's not what they want at all. They think they know what they want, but they don't know what they want. But that's why they come to us, right? To help get that clarity, to help them be able to visualize a real dream, because we're not taught how to do that now, are we? We're taught to actually run away from that and jump into these little boxes our world likes to put us into. And it's when I went to high school, my guidance counselor told me, of all people, that I should be an accountant because the test said so. And I was like, I don't like doing numbers. I always say I don't do numbers. I do marketing. I don't. So and in marketing, there's a lot of numbers. So don't blow that bubble up. Don't let anybody know that I do a lot of math. But it was crazy. And had I listened to them, but I was like, no, I want to sing on Broadway. I don't want to be an accountant. So.
We had a client. Her name's Lydia. She's based in Salt Lake City. And when she came to us, again, first day, we're talking about what do you want your life to look like? And to me, it was like, this woman's a coach. I mean,
she just exudes
every bit of her soul, body. Is like, she's a coach. She should be working with parents. And I mean, just, and when I mentioned it, she said, no, I don't want to be a coach. And I let it go. And we kept talking. And later I said, so why did you say you didn't want to be a coach? She goes, well, then I'd have to talk to them every day. And I'm like, wait a second. It's your coaching program.
We don't talk to you every day.
Do we?
Why do you talk to them?
I want you to.
Yeah. You can decide how often it's your program, how often you talk to them. And she was like, I can do that? And it's like, yeah. And you meet Lydia now. She's an amazing coach. She's like one of just like a superwoman.
Yeah.
Just spectacular human being.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to begin with the end in mind. And who's your audience? Who do you want to serve? Who do you really like to, play with, as it is?
Yeah.
So
who do you want?
I think that was like a 7-minute answer to a really easy question.
No, but it's so true. I mean, you hit all the notes, is that you really need to think about what it is that you really want. And that's why a lot of people end up in positions and jobs that don't make them happy, because they're not going into what they really want, because they're just not focused on that. I love your latest book. It's called Overwhelmed and Overthinking Entrepreneurs. What's
You mean this one?
Nicely done. I love that.
Actually, folks, if you're watching this and you're on a podcast, here's the thing. And if you've written a book or multiple books, here's the marketing tip. She could have mentioned any of them. They all live in the studio. You could have said, I really like your book, where you talk about working together with a partner, and partners and everything was right here. So yeah. So there's your marketing tip.
I love the shameless plugs. It's awesome. Shameless plugs, I totally invite. So yeah.
Always have your stuff near you, everybody.
Absolutely. Notice I have mine.
What's the name of it, Lori?
I'm pointing to, thank you for asking. It's called Women Who Dream. So yeah, it's about the fact that we have choices, and a lot of people think that we don't, but we do. So yeah, it's Women Who Dream. You can find it on Amazon or my website, ldcstrategist.com. So where can they find your books?
I was going to say, so if someone has a woman that's important in their life that they want to, spark that dream, they should go to Amazon and get that book for them as a gift.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I have a better question for you, even better question. So now you held up all of those books that you have done, which is amazing, and they're all yummy and juicy. Which one, if somebody had to start with one, which one would you say that they should start with?
See, it depends on where their pain point is, right? If they have a partner in their business, then we would say Partners in Everything. If they're having a struggle with sales, then we have one on sales.
Yeah.
If they're overwhelmed and overthinking, then the newest one on Overwhelmed. So it depends on what their struggle is. That's why we have so many, because we can speak to the struggle that they're having right then. You can change your struggle later, right? Oh, I solved the sales thing. I read your book. I solved the sales thing. What's next, right? Then, okay, well, what's the next struggle? We'll plot the book for that.
Yeah.
Tell you what, folks, if you want one of them, just reach out to us. We'll just send you one.
Oh, that's nice.
You can go to Amazon and look at them all, and they're really pretty. But just send us an email. We'll send you one.
Oh, good. Send them all to me. I need to read them all. No, it's really good to have those kind of references and to be able to read them. And I carry my Kindle around, and I literally read, like, there's never a downtime. I'm waiting in a waiting room. I'm standing online at the grocery store. It doesn't matter to me, because I whip out my Kindle and I start reading, and people are like, are you reading? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be watching social media and sucking my brain out. I want to really grow myself, so it makes me a better coach, so I can be better for the people that I'm supposed to serve. But I really like this, the overwhelmed and overthinking entrepreneur. Let's talk a little bit about that yumminess, because, oh my goodness, we do overthink. We overwhelm ourselves, and overwhelming ourselves is just a matter of, we don't know where our options are. That's why we feel overwhelmed. So let's talk about it a little bit. Give a little short synopsis of that.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go a little deeper into our business. All right, we have when we were talking about,
Sharyn, he doesn't understand short synopsis.
Sure, I did. we have six different silos. We call them Harriet, and we realized they all have, even though the demographics are different, they all have this one thing in common. every one of them is overwhelmed, and we always have to talk somebody off a ledge during our marketing call. During our mastermind call. So we figure a lot of people are that way, and we give a lot of tips on how to, if this is your challenge, then this. We really wanted to make it so we didn't get as many phone calls at 11 o'clock at night from clients. That's in chapter 17, but we're probably like you. You probably give away more books than you sell. And we do, it's a tool. I would rather help someone, give them a book instead of our one sheet that talks about us. I'd rather give them information that's going to help them. And this is
give them a tool.
Yeah. And this is one that allows them to go through and step by step. And because that's really how you get out of overwhelm. It's one step at a time. Take that deep breath.
Yeah.
And exhale. Remember to exhale.
Yeah. Don't hold the breath. Because if you inhale and hold your breath, your heart beats big. So that we don't want that to happen.
That's right. And if we take breaths in and out, a couple repetitions, it actually automatically calms our body down. So we want to start there, and then we want to open your book, and we want to start with step one. There is a movie called What About Bob? And in What About Bob, they talk about the book Baby Steps. And I love that, because that's what I think about when I'm taking people through that beginning process. Is we need to take baby steps. You're already at the end. We need to back up now. We know where we want to go. It's probably going to change a little bit as we grow, because we have to grow with the growth of what our idea is. And then we need to start here and take those baby steps forward. This way it's more palatable. It's easier. I always say, we don't eat a pizza in one bite. We take it, we break it into slices, and then from there, and sometimes we double cut it for our little ones, right? And then we take little bites. It doesn't matter if we have to double cut, triple cut, it doesn't matter. It just matters that we're taking action. We're taking those steps. And this book allows you, gives you guidance and allows you to take those steps in a knowing way, because you've been through this, right? How long have you been doing this?
This is our 28
year.
28th year.
28 free from... it's the 28th year I've been unemployable.
Nice. I said, so you're new at this, right? 28 years.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, that's great.
It isn't that we don't see new stuff. We do a small business breakthrough bootcamp a couple of times a year. And we just added an entire section on AI, because our audience needs to know.
And they're asking to know.
Yeah, some of that. So our business has developed, our boot camps, everything we do.
We certainly weren't talking about AI 28 years ago.
No.
Without a doubt. And certainly, obviously with 28 years behind you, you have the experience. That's where your know-how comes. Is I'm sure all the things in the books are things you've either had to contend, leap yourself, navigate yourself, and then help other people navigate. And those are the best books. Those are the juicy things. This isn't written by AI. It's written by real humans who have real experience.
In fact, on the back of the book, the very last thing says, not one sentence in this book was written by artificial intelligence. So
it's a necessary thing to point out these days, because there are people who are proponents of writing books using AI, and that will never be your voice. And people, you can read and notice that this is generated from an electronic device versus a human being who's actually had the feelings and experiences. And that's the only way we can really learn is understanding, because we're going to have those feelings and we're going to have those anxieties. We all have them. You and I have them, right? We all have those same anxieties, those same imposter syndromes. Yes, we've all had them. We've all jumped the hurdle. We sometimes have them come revisit us at most inappropriate times, where it's just like, what is
4 in the morning?
Yeah. I mean, the other day I was doing something, and I was doing a master class, and all of a sudden I got this whoosh of, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? And then my brain was like, seriously, stop it. And I was just like, oh yeah, right. So I kind of slapped myself around in the middle. I kind of coached myself in the middle of me having this master class, but it was just, I don't know what set it off. Sometimes it could be anything,
Someone had a micro facial expression.
Oh God, yes. Now Sharyn and I, we have each other that we can coach each other, but sometimes we'll be in front of an audience, and this will happen in person in an audience, and things will be going along. People are laughing. They're enjoying. Of course, I will see that one person, that
Oh yeah.
who might be enjoying themselves, but they're still, that's just how they're
resting stress face.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely get that.
That's the one I focus on, that person.
Yeah, I would be that person. I look like I'm not happy. I'm thinking, I'm processing. So I stop looking at those people because I'm like, okay, I'm going to reach who I'm going to reach, right? And that's what we have to focus on. But sometimes it's that one face that you're like, wait, what? But we're talking with Sharyn and Hank Yuloff, yuloffcreative.com. If you want to get more information with them, we're going to take a short break and come right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Coach Lori Anne, America's #1 Take Action Success Coach and Strategist. If you would like to be a guest or lift up your business or product or non-for-profit, or if you have a question or comment, we would love to hear from you. We answer all the emails personally. Please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. That's healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. So we're here with the fabulous duo, Sharyn and Hank Yuloff from yuloffcreative.com, and having this really, really yummy conversation with them all about their books and all these wonderful marketing tools and things. But I have a question for you. Ready for it? Is that
Lori Anne?
Yes.
I was calling on you.
Thank you.
Question, Lori Anne?
You're in the trenches every day, right? Working with small businesses. What's the biggest challenge your coaching clients had in the last year and really since 2020?
Well, in 2020, right, when the big sick happened, we had to pivot everyone's marketing plan, right? Many of our clients, their path included networking, going out and meeting people. Okay, well, if you're all at home, that doesn't work, right? And most of our
Well, it does if you're in my virtual chapter, it does.
But see, most of our clients didn't like that thing. We were told, right? Coaches need coaches, right? No big secret. Doctors need doctors. Coaches need coaches. So we were told that we needed to have.
If I could just step on you for a second, please don't get a coach unless they have a coach. I say this all the time on the show. The coaches need to have a coach. I have 5. Not because I'm a slow learner, but because I want to make sure that I surround myself with the support I need so I can support my clients. So yes, coaches need coaches. Go ahead, Sharyn.
Well, I'm guessing that those 5 have different areas of expertise.
They do.
Right? So we had a business coach, and we had a marketing coach, and we had a speaking coach. So yes, coaches need coaches. So we were told we needed to have an evergreen webinar that lived on our website and was perfect and scripted and yada,
you have
yada,
to
yada.
practice the script and go through it. And it's a sales funnel, and you have to, okay, fine. And we started working on it, but we get busy and we never made the time to practice it.
But part of the reason was our ideal clients and customers, they didn't want that. Mm-hmm. So we have the same 24/7 that you all that are listening have as well. So we focus on the things that our clients actually want. Right. So yeah, okay, that thing might be a nice thing to have, but that they don't actually want it. So someday we'll get to it. Well, then the pandemic happened.
March of 2020.
So now they all had to be online, even if they didn't want to be online. Yeah. And now suddenly, okay, well, now we can move along and into the online. So we had to pivot all of them to be on more podcasts and to do more virtual networking.
You know what we found out? With your webinars, they don't have to be evergreen or perfect. And it's okay if you have, and now we have 25 different webinars that I could pull up right now and we could do like that.
Yeah.
Because that first year of COVID, our motto became get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right. Wasn't everybody uncomfortable that first year?
The year after that, it became, if it doesn't bring us joy, we don't do it. I mean, this is how we changed our business quite a bit. I mean, heck, we lost 24 speaking gigs in a 2-week period of time, live, in person.
Sure.
And all of a sudden we had to learn how to talk to a camera, which is right here.
But that took a little while because they were at all those speaking gigs. They weren't ready to pivot to online.
Yeah.
It's
I helped
tough.
I helped a lot of organizations pivot to online and things like that. But I had been digital a long time because I've been coaching for a while now, and I coach internationally. So I have been doing it online. So there was no pivot for me. But my live speaking engagements and my live webinars or seminars, all of those had to be retracted back. But again, those were quick pivots for me, and that's how I was able to help other people. But you're right, you have to be able to pivot. And also, it's a growth opportunity. So I looked at it not as a, oh my God, dun, dun, dun. I looked at it as an opportunity for us to learn new tools. So yeah, can you funnel? Sure, if you want to funnel. If that works for you and it's the right marketing thing for you. If you want to do webinars, you could do webinars. Sure, you could do that. You could do podcasts. You could do radio shows like this. Absolutely. It's just about positioning yourself and talking to the right person who understands your business and understands who you are and understands where you want to go. And that looks different. I'm certain, without even knowing the answer, but I'm certain that I'm 100% right when I say that your clients don't get a boxed, canned marketing gig. You created around each of them.
Everything is a custom suit.
Yeah, right?
Hey, you like people that take action right away, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I have a soapbox moment. So those of you that are watching, we are now 4 years past COVID, all right? When you're doing this, when you're on Zoom, everyone, I want everyone to look at Lori Anne. See how she has this nice, clean, wonderful virtual background? Do that. Or this is not virtual. This is a black felt background. Let us all stop doing our Zooms from our kitchen and letting people know about it.
Or bedroom.
Right. Or
that's bedroom.
The thing.
Let us dial up our game. Look at Lori. You see her. She's filling her box beautifully. She's framed perfectly. Let us stop doing our Zooms from down here. So this is your action moment. You have to look at how you're coming through on your Zoom, and it's time to dial it up. So that's a simple, free, immediate thing you can do that's going to improve your business, because when people see you on Zoom, like in one of those mass Zoom rooms, they're judging you. It's we got this from Forbes Riley. They're looking at you and saying, is that person making $100,000 or not? I mean, that was her number. And it's like, now, when we first heard that, we're sitting in a Zoom room and it's like, we had to make some changes.
Yeah.
We had a banner behind us and it was like, yeah. So we changed it immediately. Thanks,
I love it. I love it. So
there, that's my soapbox moment and something you can take action on right now.
I like that, and go take that action. I love that action. Since you're giving out tips, do you have some easy marketing tips that you can give out to our listeners?
Sure.
Perhaps 10 of them, maybe?
Actually, the first chapter of the marketing checklist for your guide for overwhelmed and overthinking entrepreneurs, the first chapter is 10 easy marketing tips, but let me give you a couple. When was the last time that you went through your website and checked all the links that were there that went other places? When was the last time you looked at some of your blogs and thought, I could update that with more information and better information? Yeah, because when you do that, when you update your blogs and you get rid of the broken links, you get better SEO juice. So if that's something you can do yourself. You don't need one of those persons that's going to charge you $22,000 a month to do your SEO, which too much.
And there are online tools to help you find those broken links. You don't actually have to do them manually.
When you're going to an event, you should have a raffle prize. Now, I'm psychic. I know this. Every time Lori Anne goes to an event where they have door prizes and raffles, I'm going to bet that there's a Women Who Dream book that's going into that raffle.
Oh, you're so good. Dead dog on.
Look, when we show up to a raffle, we always have our books. Okay, if you don't have a book or 12 or however many.
Well, first off, why not?
Why not? Because people want to hire the person that wrote the book on the subject. So there's got to be something that's going to boomerang them back to you in your business. Don't be the one that gives away that coffee card unless you own a local coffee shop. Don't be the person that gives the bottle of wine, because inevitably it's going to go to the person that has 12 years in program. So you want to have a really good raffle prize that's going to have value and brings them back to you. Yesterday at a chamber mixer, they were going to have a raffle, and I didn't want to walk out to the car for the book. So I said, you know what? We're doing a small business breakthrough bootcamp, a virtual one on the 28th. You can give away 2 tickets. And she gave away 2 free tickets.
Perfect.
So raffle prizes are important. When you're going to a networking event, it's okay if you're, what's the word, Sharyn? Intro, what are you? Introverted, that's it. Find the other person that's standing off in the corner and relish in your introversion. If you're that's a new word. If you're going to a chamber, they all have ambassadors. When you show up, say, who are the ambassadors? And that ambassador will show you around the room. Yeah. Or if you come to one event we're at, find me and I'll walk you around the room.
So true. So quick story. I when I was quite young, I had to go to my first, I didn't get to, I had to go to my first networking event for my business, for my company that I was working for. It wasn't my business. And I remember I pulled up to the place. It was huge and the cars were everywhere. It was this huge networking event. And I remember I was in the parking lot. I opened my door. I threw up because I was so nervous because I'd never done anything and I didn't know anybody there. And I was like, and one wouldn't consider me an introvert, but it's not comfortable when you go into a room by yourself, right? So I don't care who you are, it's still not going to be comfortable. So I did that. I cleaned myself up. I was kind of embarrassed that happened, but I walked into the room. I took the courage, took the steps, walked into the room. I knew no one, but I saw another person who had the same look I thought I had on my face, and I beelined to them. And then that person and I started chatting, and then we started chatting with another person. And then 1 year later, full circle, I knew everybody in that room, and there were over 300 people in that room. Because every time I went into that room to network, I made sure that I got introduced to someone else, or I made sure I introduced myself to somebody else. Now I'm that person like you, Hank, who I peel the people off the walls and I help, and I find out what they're about, and I introduce them to someone important because that's what they did for me. And now I love walking into rooms because I'm like, okay, good, bad, ugly. This is who I am. Love me, don't love me. I'm okay. So
we moved to a new area 1.5 years ago. So I had to, oh my gosh, I don't know anybody here. Went to my first chamber event. It's like, okay, read your own book, Hank. Oh, find the yappers. Now, let me explain what a yapper is. I got this, a friend of mine, Casey Eberhard, came up with this term. It's called a yapper. These are the folks that own the room. They are comfortable in the room. They know everybody and they hold court. I walked in, I looked around, and I found her name's Shauna. I say, Shauna is a yapper. I instantly walked over. She was setting up a camera because she was going to video the speaker that day. And I said, can I help you do that? And I said, if you move your camera from there to there, and I just started being of service. She's like, who is this person? But I helped her get better video, and she started introducing me to other people. This guy just helped me get my camera in a better place. And total yapper. Turns out she was on the executive board of that chamber. So if you just pause at the door and look around, you find those people holding court. When we were in Los Angeles, if you had gone to the Encino Sherman Oaks Chamber and you had seen me, I was a yapper. I knew everyone in the room, and my job that night was, all right, who's new? The people that are the yappers, they want you to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They're there to help you because the more business that's done in the group, the better it is for everyone.
For everyone. Yeah. Oh, apparently I'm a yapper then because I'm a
You're a yapper. High five. High five, yapper. There we go.
Yep.
I'm still not a yapper. I still go hang out with the people that are hanging by the wall.
But I will tell you, Sharyn, you don't strike me as that at all because you're very articulate. And I know when you're in your comfort zone and speaking about what you do, that's where you just come out and shine. So I would just go right to your comfy zone and talk about what you do. And then boom, all you have to do is
awesome.
Yeah.
You ought to see her teach. When we do an in-person event, I try and get off to the side and just leave her there because she's spectacular. I'm like, and I get to be married to her. This is she holds a room. She's awesome, but she channels her, you know.
I have to channel my inner Hank to be extroverted.
No, you're channeling your inner Sharyn, quite frankly, because you have all those yummy things. It's just it's just not as comfortable for you. But as I say, you know, I'm more comfortable being uncomfortable now, because when I'm comfortable, I'm not learning, I'm not growing. When we're uncomfortable, we're growing. And but you're awesome. And if anything else, just carry your books in with you, and that's a good starting conversation piece anyway. It's like, what's that? Well, that's one of my books. What do you mean one? Well, I got 97 of them now on Amazon. So
only 8. But yeah, we've been known to walk. Well, I'll pick 2 or 3 versions of, we've got them. Let's use them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't do any good sitting in a box.
Oh no.
No, they don't. And it's the yumminess you want to get out there, and that's how people learn about who you are. You have, and you've mentioned a couple of times that you have this business breakthrough boot camps, and I know I run boot camps twice a year myself. When your boot camp is coming up, I understand.
Yeah, we have an in-person one tomorrow in Salisbury, Maryland. But we have a virtual one next Thursday, the 28th, and then we won't do it again until September. Actually, that's not true, because we're doing one in Los Angeles in person
in July,
on July 18th.
Yeah. By the way, if you're watching this in 2025, congratulations on finding Coach Lori Anne's podcast. Well done. But you can just go to yourmarketingbootcamp.com, and that has the next one. And in fact, if you send us an email and you tell us you saw us on Coach Lori Anne's podcast, we'll scholarship you a free ticket.
Cool.
You have to. Tell you what, you have to mention that you watched Coach Lori Anne's podcast, and you have to watch another episode and give us a book report about what you learned. So you just have to do those 2 things, and you get a free ticket. That'll save you $100. So,
that's lovely. Thank you so much for doing that. And it's either they can listen to the podcast, the radio show, or see the YouTube. So
however you want to consume your Coach Lori Anne podcast, we're fine with it.
It's awesome. So Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne, go visit it, and then you get a free ticket and gets a whole lot of yumminess. What do you do during your business breakthrough boot camp? I like saying boot camp.
I know. First of all, no push-ups, no sit-ups, no laps.
Nice, I'm in.
This is a way that you can invest a day in your business. You get 2 proven business coaches that are going to hold your hand and put you on the yellow brick marketing path, or it's actually follow the yellow brick road. The yellow brick marketing road. I had to get that right. And sometimes we switch up what we talk about depending on who's in the room. The last one, several people asked about direct mail and email marketing, so we put a section in there. We have about a week's worth of coaching and stuff we could do, so it's really pulling different parts and putting them into one day.
Yeah, has it ever happened to you based on who you have in the room? Because I know it's happened to me. I came in with one thought that I was going to do. It was going to be one workshop, and I started talking to the people because I always start that way. And I was like, no, and I threw it out and did a completely different thing. My whole staff was like, what do you do? What PowerPoint do you want now? I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. So I just started talking. They found it and they caught up with me. But yeah, it happens, right? But that's
at lunchtime we'll pull out a section and put in another section.
Yeah, we've never thrown out the whole thing, but we have changed sections at the break. Okay, they need this section instead, so we'll change the section.
We're going to talk mindset, folks. A lot of you won't come out from under your chair, so let's do it.
Yeah. So I have a Super Bowl quiz. So you remember Super Bowls, right? You bounce them and they go.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm definitely a Super Bowl. And we have different bounces. So I have a quiz that tells you what your bounce is, and depending on your bounce tells you where you really need to start your work. So if you have like for instance, a V bounce, that means we really need to start in your mindset. That we don't need to go to the other stuff yet. We need to start with your mindset because that's what's stopping you from taking action and moving forward. So it's interesting that you learn what your bounce is, and then that allows you to know where you start. So and this is just pro tip, is that when you go to Hank and Sharyn, they're listening, they're paying attention, they're seeing, they're hearing you in the room and really giving you a lot of yumminess and have a little bit of experience, I'm thinking, with 28 years of experience in business and marketing. Little bit. In the last few minutes, and I love asking this, is I'm a Take Action Success Coach, recently named America's #1 Take Action Success Coach. Very proud of that. Thank you so much. But with that said, what's something that our listeners right now, today, can take action, go do, and really step in the right direction?
Raise your prices.
Raise their prices.
Yeah.
Quick synopsis. You got 1 minute. Why? How?
Okay.
What do they do? I just heard a whole bunch of people go,
most of you, and that's why. Most of you are not charging enough for what you deserve because you bring a lot of awesomeness to what you do. We have this happen. We do a mastermind call with all of our clients every Monday. And a year and a half ago, we were talking about this exact topic for one of the clients, raising your price. And somebody said, well, your price is only this. I said, really? How many of you think we charge too little? And every hand went up. I said, come back and look at the site tomorrow. I raised it $500.
Yeah.
Now their price didn't change. They were grandfathered.
They were fine. Their grandfathered in
care.
forever, so they didn't care. But we found out you start getting more of the clients you want because you deserve, and you feel you deserve the kind of client you want because you're charging what you deserve to get. So go raise your price. Absolutely.
And then another little nugget before we go is that when you're charging the right price and you're getting the right people, it's a mindset for you as well, and you bring this to it. And nobody wants free. So I mean, everybody thinks free is cool, but free's not for me, because that means there's no skin in the game, and you have to have skin in the game. So make sure you understand what your value is, and if you don't, definitely reach out to a coach to help you with that. You guys, you're the best. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Sharyn.
Thank you.
Yuloffcreative.com. Please go visit them. Thank you all for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am so privileged to be spending this time with you, and I hope we earn the privilege of your time. Again, I want to thank Hank and Sharyn Yuloff for being here today. Look for our show next Saturday at 3 p.m. on JVC Broadcasting and iHeartRadio. We can also be found on all major platforms and would be so grateful if you please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I am Coach Lori Anne, America's #1 Take Action Success Coach and Strategist. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears. Let your life be filled with joy. Play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.